Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with our Treasure Cup run. So I decided to enter my villain arc. I am playing Katakuri. If you don't know, I love playing yellow. I know, I'm sorry, but I just wasn't having a good time with Gecko and I figured why not throw Katakuri together. No one will be expecting the Katakuri. They're never expecting the Katakuri. And I was actually able to do pretty well. So we are playing RP Luffy, and real quick, I do want to apologize for whatever this camera angle is. Thankfully, it's not as important in Katakuri to see the trash, but still, what am I doing here? Who knows? But we are playing RP Luffy, so he ends up dropping the Nami Searcher and getting the Bone Chimi. I don't know, not a card I see often, so I was interested in seeing that. But with three Dawn coming up, there's a couple of options depending on what he has in his hand. I'm thinking we can force some cards out of his hand, or Shirahoshi, put a blocker up, might be useful since he is a 6k body. Thankfully with Katakuri we can swing 7 most turns. And speaking of 7, we do get another 7 mom off the top of our life. And I think I am thinking about dropping the Banish Onami or even Flampe. But yeah, I decided to swing 7. I will check the top of my life and we see a beige. I'm gonna slip that at the bottom of my life. Beige, Capone, shout out to Capone. Able to win me many games at Capone. Just kind of a busted trigger if you ask me. But we swing 7 at lead, and my opponent, let's see if he can counter out. Yeah, as I said, thankfully Katakuri being able to get us to 7 each time. He ends up taking the hit, and we tap 2. Drop down the Shirahoshi just to kind of keep us alive a bit. And I'm just letting my opponent know what she does. I don't think her ability is super impactful in this game, but it is nice to... I like to try and give that warning, that heads up. Especially because I know my opponent is a little bit of a newer player. So yeah, not really sure what he's got in his hand. But I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like the 10 mom and the 7 moms in this match should be pretty useful. Because I know, or I can assume that he's gonna let me heal off of each of those. So I don't mind taking life. He ends up tapping 3 for the wire blocker, which honestly, I do like that blocker. Kind of interested to see if it comes back in relevance. And he swings 7, and I think about countering, and I take, and we get another Flampe, which is great. That's a 2k right there, which you love to see. And we top deck another Shirahoshi. So we're sitting pretty good on counters. We're sitting okay on most things here. So I think I am thinking about the Onami play, just to, it'll force that wire to go. I don't think that they will keep, if I swing, or I might be dropping it. I think I might be dropping another Shirahoshi, honestly. So this part is kind of tricky because I did put a beige at the bottom of my life, so the only other thing I'd want to put at the bottom of my life is a 0-cost event. And we see 10 mom, we'll leave 10 mom there, and we are swinging a good amount. And yep, he ends up blocking with wire and letting wire go, which is kind of what I expected. And we drop another Shirahoshi blocker. Yeah, she's definitely hard. I feel like she's tricky to deal with, because you can't remove her. I have to block with her to get her removed if you try and remove her another way. Except for Law. I think Law can remove her pretty easily. For now, he's about to get banned though, so... yeah, if you try and remove her, most of the time I'm gonna gain that life, which is not something you want to happen. So My opponent now at 6 Dawn. Gonna figure out what their next play is. They end up tapping 4, playing down the, is that Bone Kimi? I'm not sure. I can't remember what that card's name. If I remember editing, I'll put a picture up of the card. Not doing anything at this moment, but it is a body on board, and yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty solid for my opponent. So he does go 7 at life, and I don't really want to counter out, so I just go ahead and block. I think I'm about to get healed. I think yeah, I'll be on 7 Dawn next turn, so I'm pretty sure they'll heal me with the 7 Mom. And if I decide to play 7 Mom here, there is a chance that I don't play 7 Mom, strictly because he has a blocker, and I want to try and do some damage. It looks like I am gonna be playing out Kikinojo, just judged by the Dawn separation there. So I do end up, I swing 8, and I check the top of his life. I put that back at the top of his life. And is that 8? I think that is 8. Math is hard. 7, 8. Yes, 8 with Katakuri ability. Checking the top of his life, because I know the top of my life is a 10 Mom. And I think this turn I actually might flampe, but he ends up taking his life. He told me that card was the top, but he didn't. But it ended up not being the top of his life. It doesn't matter ultimately. So I flampe, I take a card, and we draw into another Shirahoshi. She absolutely loved us this tournament, which was great. And we end up tapping 4 to drop Kikinojo, because, I mean, the greatest thing about playing RP Luffy is Kikinojo is online instantly. You will immediately get the benefit and the heal from Kikinojo. So that is great. But we do know what his last life is. And we are at... So we'll be at 9 Dawn next turn. Not enough to get us the 10 Mom, but we definitely can use the 7 Mom to heal, and if we need to, there is a chance that we may not need to. I know the purple Nami, I think, is a blocker, if I'm not mistaken. So that is something to keep in mind, but we at least have Kikinojo on board to swing as well, because really our board state is kind of slow right now, kind of low. We have a lot of small bodies, but we'll make do. We will be fine. Honestly, I'm not super worried at this point. I do know that I have 2 7 Moms and 2 10 Moms, so making it to the end game for Katakuri is definitely. I feel like Katakuri really if you kill him before he gets to 7 Dawn, that's rough. But once you get to past 7 Dawn, Katakuri just ends up dropping these big bodies. And actually, in this list, I'm not running any Katakuris. But my opponent does play out the Rush Sanji, which I like Rush Sanji. I think that card is pretty good, and I do meet the requirements because I do have Kikinojo on the field. So he ends up swinging 7 at a lead, and I'm seeing that he has 2 Dawn up, so I think I end up countering out with Flampe and Shirahoshi. So we kind of counter out of the 7, and we have the 1K and big bodies, so I definitely am feeling a little nervous here. They end up swinging 8. I think I go ahead and block. No, I end up taking, and we get another Kikinojo, which really good for us. I think that kind of secured the game there. So thankfully, we do get the 0 cost event. One of the things I really like to do with the 0 cost event, and something I learned from Pause Plays videos, is you get the Hiyori, you put the 0 cost event in your life, you Katakuri affected to the bottom. It's disgusting, and it definitely saved me a lot. So we swing 8, and I'm having to up my math because of the fact that my opponent is a 6k leader, so I am trying to go for game, which I think works out for me. My opponent's hand is pretty rough from what I can tell. So I swing another 8, seeing if we can get the block here, and my opponent scoops. So that was round 1. We were able to take it. My opponent, I don't think he had much in his hand, and that second Kikinojo trigger really worked out for us. Kind of good I didn't block there, but yeah, so that is round 1. Tomorrow we will be going over round 2, then 3, then 4. Crazy how that works. But I will end it there, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.